Okay. So hello everyone. Welcome to the Security Talks show. The agenda of this session is to have discussion with the security people who are into security, so that we all get to know their journey and understand their experience, and we get to learn something from them. So today we have Mr. Pritam Mandal with us. I would say that he would be an inspiration and a motivation for all of us. One of the reasons is that his background is he has done his master's in zoology. Okay, so he's not from a technical background. He has come from a biology background, so he's pursued his master's in zoology. I think that should be one of the interesting topic, that you guys would be finding to know more about his journey. So Pritam, welcome,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
thank you
Hello.
for
Hello,
being with.
everyone. And yeah, good evening to all of you. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pritam was also an intern who joined us some months back. And so Pritam, can you just tell me about yourself, like where you are from? And of course, I've just told about your qualification, but otherwise, where you're from and currently which organization you're working with?
Yeah. So, once again, hello to everyone and a very good evening to all of you. And I'm from Kolkata and I'm currently working with IT Origin as VAPT and SOC analyst. So these are the job roles, and I'm working with IT Origin, and I'm here for Kolkata around last 10 to 12 years. I have moved very recently. It's recently, I would say, and I pursued my career afterwards after arriving here in Kolkata. I was not here there before. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Pritam, the first thing that I would want to ask you is, did you choose cybersecurity or was it an option to you that you came here? How was it? Like the initial thing of cybersecurity, how did it start?
Yeah, for me, yeah, this is a very interesting question, and the answer will be equally interesting, I guess, because if I say that cybersecurity chose me, so that will be a very a very good statement, I would say, because I was doing something totally different, as you told, because that I got masters in zoology, and it has nothing to do with cybersecurity, and
Hmm.
still I'm here in this field for around one more years now.
Hmm.
And for me the journey was something like that. I was cultivating this computer in the background as a hobby for a very long time, since my very childhood.
Hmm.
And for me computer was very natural, and I was also building websites. So what happened after building and successfully running all those websites for around 6 to 7 years, a day it got hacked, and I was very angry and very what will say curious at the same time. Like, I didn't make any mistake, like how did all this happen? And I realized later on that it has something to do with security. uh, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are. Go ahead.
Okay. So I discovered that my website was gone, and later I tried to like research and do my part, and try to like find the reason. And later on I discovered that it's not my fate, it was my fault rather, that I
Hmm.
kept few things open, and there were some settings and there were some mistakes on building the websites from security point of view. And later on I thought, like, after completing my masters, like, why not do something, or why not like learn something more about this cyber security?
Hmm.
And after that I switched to cyber security, and here I am today.
Okay, that's a interesting thing. So can you tell us more about what was the actual attack that happened, and were you able to overcome that? Were you able to figure out, or how was
Yeah.
it?
So so a very common vulnerability, even in the OWSP top 10 it is there, is a version disclosure or using backdated components. So I was using a few stuffs which were like very bad and very outdated. As a
Mm-hmm.
result, there were lots of other attacks and vulnerabilities that were easily available on the market, on the web. And the attacker actually got hold of my account of my website using all those vulnerabilities present, because I was not aware that all those things and all those versions need to be updated from time to time. So as a
Yeah.
result, that happened, actually that incident happened.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's interesting. So, uh, okay. So, how much of experience you have till now, Pritam? Work experience,
Yeah,
including internship
right.
and everything?
Yeah. So like after completing my masters, I studied cybersecurity for a year here in the Kolkata itself,
Mm-hmm.
but it was not that fruitful. Sorry. So it was not that fruitful because learning something like theoretically and having a practical experience is a very different thing. And later on I felt that there was some gap in my learnings. After
Mm-hmm.
that I came to CyberSapiens, and definitely CyberSapiens helped me doing my internship. And not only like just for the sake of doing it, and like learning it practically. So very practical approach is there in the CyberSapiens. And after that, actually what I learned previously theoretically, I learned all those things practically. That really helped me later crack on jobs. I was placed in ITC, Infotech. There I
Okay.
was for 4 to 5 months, 4 months,
Mm.
few days. And after that, I switched to IT Origin now, where I am. So this is my second job. So before that, only before cracking that ITC Infotech, CyberSapien was there, and I was as an intern there.
Mm-hmm. So overall, around 1.2 years of something experience you should have.
Right, right,
1.5, if I'm
right,
not right. Okay.
right.
Okay. So, talking about your current role, can you give uh, the audience some insights of what you do in real time so that they get to know what security people do in their day-to-day life? So what are your day-to-day activities? What are your responsibilities? What profile exactly are you working on?
So, uh, to be very honest, to work in the cybersecurity, you must need to work multiple things. You must do multitasking. So
Multitasking.
in my multitasking, I am not only doing VAPT stuffs, but also helping clients set up SOC operations, SOC and SIM, so all these implementations and the technologies in a like in a newly built organization, or it can be a old organization who want to like steady up their security perspective and the overall the posture, overall security posture they want to improve. And
Mhm.
I'm helping them to build all those things, and the whole SOC thing. So these are the two things I am doing simultaneously at this moment. And yeah, so these are the job roles right now I am in.
So, Preetham, I mean, you're saying you're working on two roles, which, as per my knowledge, are two different things. Like VAPT is different and SOC is completely different. And of course, to certain extent, the knowledge and expertise will, is there similarities there, but not to that extent. So, how easy is it for you in your day-to-day life, or how are you doing this? I mean, like, I'm not able to understand, digest the fact that you're working on two different profiles. So I'm damn sure that it's gonna not easy for you. But can you throw something to us about like how you are trying to manage and what are the challenges that you get every day, and how is it that you're able to do two different profiles in one in one single role?
Right. So very true. Both the tasks and both the job roles are completely different and challenging at the same time. So I have different sets of challenges for the VAPT, and I have different sets of challenges for SOC operations and analyzing all those things, setting up all those things, because we all know that technology is changing every day. Every day, every damn day, it is changing. Something There is something new is coming. implementation of AI, ML, and everything. So the things are getting complicated.
Yeah.
The attack is getting complicated. The technology is getting
Yeah.
complicated,
Yeah.
and we need to also like set up our mind actually that we
Mm,
have to like deal with these complications. So there is no shortcut, and there is no one like like one liner answer to this. For this, every day you need to like have that knack to research, go out there and search for yourself. Like there is no there will be always so many things that reads like research and try out all those things, whether these things is actually proper in this environment or not. So VAPT, what I will say, actually helps me in SOC operation. How I would tell you,
mm-hmm.
because in SOC, you know that where something well, after setting up all those things, when the alerts are coming, we need to investigate all those alerts.
Mm-hmm.
And suppose if I try to make you understand in one scenario. Suppose one alert is coming, and it is related to someone is trying to getting into any system,
Okay.
and you get the raw data in the SIM, in the XDR, whatever you are monitoring, you get that raw data. Now
Mm.
the raw data, now when you are aware of that like manual testing, which again CyberSapiens helped, and CyberSapiens teaches how to do manual testing in VAPT, you will quickly get to know that okay, so these are the raw data, these are the parameters, and you are now into the shoes of
Okay.
the hacker. You get to understand the hacker's perspective,
Okay.
because you already have that VAPT knowledge, little
Yeah.
knowledge that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Now what you can do sandboxing. You can just simply put that like get that raw data, and you
Mm.
can play around with that data in the sandboxing environment or the VM, whatever you got. You can play with that data and try to see like what are the scenarios or what are the things that hacker were trying to like execute or they were trying to do. So
Mm.
it can be many attacks and many like techniques. So by that sort of things, you will be able to actually understand like more like have a good understanding. So yeah, VAPT, that is why I say that VAPT helps in
Mm.
like maintaining and analyzing that SOC operations and investigations. So
Mm.
these are the correlations in between them, if I can draw.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I now can understand the interest that you're working on these two profiles, right? I mean, I can
Right, right,
see
right.
that the main enthusiasm that you get is basically this. You're also getting the footprints of a hacker, and you are following the footprints of a hacker, and you're doing this. So that sounds to be really interesting. I mean, at least for
Very interesting, very
me and
interesting.
all the viewers as well. I think that's something really really interesting to do in your day to day, right? And I think this is what keeps you running your day, right? Um and of course, you did mention about the point of researching. I think researching is really important, right?
Yeah,
With-
very
Yeah,
important, very important. If I emphasis in one thing, like to be a cybersecurity professional, you need not you won't be, you will always feel that you don't have that complete knowledge. But trust me,
yeah,
we are never will be never have will never have that knowledge, complete knowledge.
yeah,
There will be always something lacking within ourselves,
yeah,
and for that, and to fulfill that gap of that knowledge, you have to run that extra mile doing the research. So research is something, whether whatever you're doing,
yeah,
whatever role in you are, if
yeah,
you're researching something, if you're learning something new, you are in the right direction. So that is very important, I believe, in cybersecurity. And that is also what I will say, the interesting stuff. Like you do not have to deal with the same boring stuff every day. And
mm,
if you are someone who really gets bored with like
mm,
the old same thing, so I
mm,
will tell you there is something always challenging and new in the cybersecurity.
yeah,
That is also something very interesting
yeah.
to look for.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this statement did will help because I mean, you also know it that we also give research tasks. We do
Right,
ask
right.
people to keep researching
Very
and
helpful, very
yeah,
helpful.
come up and all.
Actually, yeah, actually that really sets someone's like habit.
Yeah.
research is a habit,
Yeah.
reading is a habit. So
Yeah.
uh, so once you actually build that habit, it is going to be there with you, and it is going to help you, like whatever you are doing, and how long you are in this in this industry working around. So it
Yeah.
will definitely going to help you, it is definitely going
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
help
Okay. So what are your career, aspirations in the future? Like where do you see yourself? I mean, it's not an interview question of where do you see yourself in the next 5 years or 10 years, but otherwise, like how do you want to pursue your career and what are your personal aspirations? Maybe what certifications do you want to take up in the coming days and what type of role or domain or technology you want to work on?
so certifications, yeah, certifications are important. Experience is also important.
Yeah.
Just doing going blindly for the what I've seen and what I've like observed in this my short
Mm.
period, like having only certification is not going to help you, having only experience is not going to help you. You
Yes.
need to have both actually to flourish.
Yeah.
So what I feel, and what is my personal opinion also, it is always like have some at least experience and knowledge and then go for the certification. If you
Mm.
start something, then gather some knowledge and
Mm.
then go for certifications, so that will actually help you. And if I what I have seen that people actually struggle after doing certifications.
Mm. Mm.
Whenever they are doing whatever they are doing, like they have that knowledge but they do not have that practical knowledge. And
Mm.
where I think CyberSapiens is doing fantastic. I'm not just saying for the sake of like I need to say this, and believe me, nobody forced me, not a single line to tell me anything about CyberSapiens. But I'm saying like because as I was there, I have seen what are the like culture and what is the things that they are pushing. Cybersapien is pushing whenever someone is coming, and believe me, it will going to help you every bit of it. It is going to help you somewhere down the line. So I think certifications are also important for me personally. I'm looking for the OSCP in the next
Okay.
2 or 3 years down the line. I am looking for that, and
Mm.
I am personally like gaining what I'll say, knowledge and experience, and slowly I will be moving towards achieving that certifications at some point of time. And yeah, apart from that, I have recently completed CEH, and I am also thinking for the Red Hat certifications, and definitely CyberSapiens is there, I know,
Yeah.
with the Red Hat certifications. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is also there in my mind. I'll if I opt someday, I'll be definitely knocking the door of the CyberSapiens. Please help me with the
You're
certification so
always
that
welcome,
my
man. You're always welcome.
yeah. So these are the things that I am looking for at this moment. And personally, what I will say, and what is my personal like ambition is like to help out people.
Mm.
What I've seen Robin sir also doing it for a long time, conducting so many things, seminars and going around. Because what in our country, in our India, like cyber hygiene is very poor. We do
Yeah.
not know what is cyber hygiene. We do not know the basic things also. Even we have today the the mobile penetration is so deep today
Mm.
in our country, and everybody sort of using like a very good feature phone or a proper
Yeah.
smartphone. But we do
Mm.
not know that this smartphone can actually be very like vulnerable thing. And uh, we are playing with fire. Accessing internet is like playing with fire. So
Yeah.
if you do not know
Yeah.
like how to control that fire and what are the precautions that you need to have,
Yeah.
then that fire will somebody is going to someday is going to harm you. So it is as simple as that. And for that, web hygiene is very required, and it is very important to know some basic rules of
Mm.
accessing. I'm also whenever I do get time, I interact with the people, trying to make them understand, make them
Mm.
say or proper how the like what are the things that you
I
can
think.
do from your end to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe everyone who is like associated with cyber security in any way must like try to help
Yeah.
others also and understand also. So that will actually help our country as a to like the challenges that are coming also. Coming days, there are, I think those days are gone where wars will be fought. Wars are, we are already in the wars,
Yeah.
and in the cyber warfare, will we everyone, we need contribution, we need
Yes.
contribution from everyone. And
Yes.
for that, I think something we need to like really focus in the coming days.
Yeah, sure, Pritam. I mean, that was really interesting. I mean, it really did touch me because I am into it already, as you already mentioned.
Yeah,
And if I can see that in you, and I'm really happy that you are, and it has impacted a lot of people. One small help or one small tip or a guidance from your end, it's gonna help. The entire country, I can say, or with a lot of people to be safe, right? So that's a good thing. I hope you start doing it soon. I understand the time bandwidth that you have right now, but otherwise you're doing it already. What you have mentioned, and I wish you a good luck in that. This thing. Coming back, Pritam, to your let's talk
thank you.
about a few things about the interview part. I mean, because our
Right.
participants are mainly now would be going for the interviews or would be applying for the interviews. So talking about that, you mentioned that your first job with ITC. Okay. So
ITC
how?
Infotech, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you may have given a lot of other interviews. You can share if you want to, but otherwise, my main focus would be to understand in the ITC, how was the interview process for you? What were the expectation from the organization? And what type of to what advanced level the questions were asked? How cool was it? How difficult was it? Can you just let us
Yeah.
know?
So, if I have to elaborate the interview process in both the organizations, and also before that, I have
Hmm,
faced some interviews as well
hmm,
when I was trying to get into cybersecurity.
hmm,
So, what I have observed is people nowadays say like they actually look for the like practical knowledge what you have. So
okay.
theoretical knowledge is something which is important, but
Hmm,
practical, having that practical knowledge and that practical sort of experience, in hand
hmm,
experience, is so important. Then that even if you are like having a little bit of like that practical knowledge and practical hands on, wherever whatever you get it,
hmm,
that will help you like stand out from other in
hmm,
the interview.
hmm.
Because everyone in the starting phase, we only have that theoretical knowledge,
Yeah.
and the organizations look for that little bit of practical knowledge within the candidate. So
Hmm,
if the candidate can show and like uh, take confidence of the interviewer, like, yeah, I do have some, okay, I have that theoretical knowledge, but yeah, at the same time, I also do have some sort of practical knowledge.
yeah.
So that really impresses, and like what I've said, that it makes you stand out from the crowd.
Hmm,
So that will definitely help you. Try to learn practically whatever you are learning. Try to implement that, experiment with that, whether you can do it practically. VMs are there. Do not play do not go too far. Be in a restricted environment. Create your own lab, home lab. It is very easy these days. You can set it up, you can play, you can experiment. You have that. Once you have that practical knowledge, once you start gaining that practical knowledge, trust me, interview is going to be really really easy for you.
hmm, hmm. So in your case, what type of questions were asked for you? And yeah, like what type of questions, areas?
So, yeah. So, basic questions, I think people ask from the network first. So,
Hmm,
you need to have that basic knowledge of that networking,
hmm,
how common switches, routers, they all interact with each other.
hmm,
And after that, once you go to this, like, once you are satisfied, once the interviewer is satisfied with that, they will simply start asking with the practical questions. So you said that I know this tool and that tool, then they will start questioning like what this tool will do and what you have done with this tool.
hmm.
Have you been successfully able to find out any bug in the wild, in the
Okay.
in like in the public? So once you have that, if you have done like little bit of bug bounty,
Hmm,
you can easily answer that questions. For me, it became really easy because uh, I was in the internship of the CyberSapiens, and I was also doing some trying to
uh,
do some bug bounty at
mm,
the same time.
mm,
So
mm,
those questions I actually faced lot better than others, I can say. Those who
mm,
have actually just have that knowledge, but yeah, I have that knowledge, but also I have tried to actually try to find out bugs and what are once, like they will after that they will start asking, like, tell me the practical approach, how did you start it from the first.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
you can say, yeah, tools are not required. We can do testing even from our browsers.
mm,
Our browsers have the built-in like developer features. From there are so many tools, and
mm,
there you can actually start your VAPT. You need not to have like you need to like straight away use any tools from
mm,
the browser itself. You
mm,
can start doing VAPT. So
mm,
once you tell all those sort of answers, you explain all these things, the interviewer which is in front of you, they understand, yeah, this guy actually like they like have that practical knowledge. So
mm,
that really helps, that really helps, trust me, that really helps, and that will help you answer whatever question the interviewer is going to ask you in the practical way. You can easily
mm.
answer them.
So it's basically about what you are doing, what you have been doing. It's about your journey. Maybe if you say that, yes, I've been working on web application security, the next question would be, okay, what vulnerabilities you know, what tools you've used. So if you say burp suit, then they would ask questions more on burp suit. If you say metasploit, then they would ask more on metasploit. As a fresher, I
True.
don't. What you mean to say is, as a fresher, companies don't have that, checklist or something of a questions as such. What they want from a candidate is very simple. You need to have hands on, very simple,
Right. Very true.
right?
Spot on. Yes.
You need
They
to
are
be
just looking
energetic,
into that.
enthusiastic as well.
Right. 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 Just you need to have that hands on. Once they are satisfied, like, yeah, this guy or this something, they already have like tried at least doing hands on.
Mhm.
Then rest, we are there. Will help him or her out, and
Mhm.
uh, definitely a placement is there for you.
Okay. So Pritam, how is it like being a security professional, day to day? Like, how do you feel now? Maybe you, I mean, as you said in the initially, it was not a dream for you. Like most of us who are there joined here, maybe they had this dream of becoming a security professional, which is not a case in here with you. You've came here out of an incident. So how do you feel now? Like being into this profession, doing this work and all. How do you feel? Being a security professional.
So let's be very frank and let's be very true. Cybersecurity is something which will tiring on a daily basis. So you have to accept that there is pressure. Yes, there is pressure when you are once you are entering this cybersecurity,
Mm,
and but what I will say, there are so many things to play around. If you are
mm,
someone who likes to experiment, read
mm,
new things, and
mm,
have that knack to learn something little bit extra, little bit more, or
mm,
what's going around, let's see what is going around, that what are the tools that came up. If you're
mm,
kind of guy who have that curiosity, who is always looking for something new, like to
mm,
face new challenges, cybersecurity is for you. It won't, like, it is not something you need to have that background.
mm.
As in my case, I am from zoology background.
Yeah,
I do not have any technical background. So
yeah.
anyone can be in this field. The only criteria is you have to accept the challenge of learning something new. If you're
Mm,
something, if you are someone who is ready to do research, give
mm,
some time yourself doing some research and learning new things,
mm,
you will be easily able to cope up with cybersecurity. No, not a very big deal. Yeah, it will be tiring. It is going to be tiring, but yeah, obviously. But at the end of the day, what I feel, you will also have that satisfaction that
yeah,
yeah, you did something today. You
yeah,
learned something new today. You saw something which is something extremely new in the wild. So
yeah.
that you won't be never you won't be bored at any point of time. That I can guarantee. If you have that like knack and they have that little patience and little like desire to do something new.
Okay, that's really good to hear, and I think that's something which should be a motivation for all our participants listening to this. Coming to your education, Pritam, you have done your master's in zoology. Was there any time, when you're applying for jobs in security, specifically, I'm talking about security, was there any time where this became a hindrance to you? Your education became an hindrance to you?
To be very honest, a couple of times it was there, like they said, okay, you did like masters in zoology, but they simply say, I think they have like the recruiter is also understand, like this guy has some like serious interest. That is
Mm,
why in the cybersecurity after doing this master, so they never like crossed me or like dragged me down to my like what you were doing in the zoology. So they never asked me. What I feel like, people are more open now to welcome more people in cybersecurity irrespective of their background.
mm,
And if you have that knowledge, once
mm,
they understand the potential you are having and the
mm.
knowledge they are looking for and the interest you have in this field, I think people are ready to welcome you with warm hearts, and there is nothing that's going to stop you from whatever background you are coming. So cybersecurity is a field where everybody is welcome, and that's the best part of cybersecurity.
Okay, that's good to hear. So basically, your educational background doesn't matter as such. But of course, yeah,
Right,
your degree that you have would matter. You need to have a qualification. A basic qualification is required. But
right,
even if
true,
someone is
true.
from a not from a computer background or IT background, they can still try and they can still get a job. And we have a live example in front of.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. If I can, definitely you can. There
Yes.
is no
Yes.
denying that. Definitely
Yeah,
no denying that.
yeah. So how do you spend your day, Pritam? Like, I mean, not in terms of your personal life, in your professional life, apart from your work and all, is there anything that you do and maybe like using LinkedIn or writing blogs or reading things and all? How do you spend your day from a professional perspective?
So as I told you, sir, like professionally, we need to research and read
Mm,
on daily basis.
mm,
And whenever I do have some time, when I like I'm commuting somewhere, I'm traveling, I'm going somewhere,
mm,
my phone is there. I'm
mm,
browsing some articles.
mm,
I follow personally bleeping computers
mm,
and a couple of more websites which I have put on notifications. Whenever something new is coming, I get alert. I
mm,
do not delete or remove those alerts. I let them stay on my phone. Whenever
mm,
I do have the time, I just simply click on those alerts and
mm.
read all those stuffs.
Yeah.
In also like LinkedIn, yeah, I am there in LinkedIn. LinkedIn.in, LinkedIn, yeah, slash dot in dot slash to Pritam is my handle.
Okay.
TOPRITAM. I'm
Okay.
there, and I have a very good like connection over around uh, 1900 something. It will be there in the LinkedIn as well,
Mm,
and so many informations I do get, and those informations are absolutely free of cost. I
mm,
get to know so many people, learn and see whatever they are doing, the
mm,
articles and the posts and the study materials they are sharing from their on their profile. I'm
mm,
getting all those there also. So
mm,
there are so many things. There is no shortage of like study material. If you want to learn something, there
mm,
are so many stuffs free of cost, like going around here and there. You just
mm,
need to grab any of it, pick it up, and just start reading whatever you feel like reading, whatever interests you. So
mm, mm,
there are so many things you can keep on learning, because learning is something you have to be, which I believe. I'm also, I do not know everything. If someone asks me, do you know, or like this and that, whenever I do know that, I simply tell to my management, yeah, I know this. I am
mm,
very clear to my management and very
mm.
clear to myself also. I am not in a position where I'm telling myself, oh, I know this also, this also, this also. No,
Yeah,
I'm not like that, in that mode. So
yeah.
if I know, I am saying myself, yeah, I know this much, and
Mm,
I do not know after that point. I need to learn that. So once you into that habit, into that culture, cultivating your knowledge, your like that. the thing, cybersecurity slowly and gradually will come to you more like very naturally. It will become a very natural habit.
Hmm.
Cybersecurity will be a habit
Hmm.
rather than that extra burden, and that doing that long hours job won't be feel like very much uh,
Hmm.
personally day to day. So
Yeah.
that will help. That will help.
Sure, sure. So at this point, I would like to take a small, a break and let the participants know that you can also ask your questions to
Yeah,
Pritam.
yeah,
So
definitely.
if anybody wants to ask anything, you can just raise your hand. You have this option in the reactions to raise a hand, or you can just unmute yourself. If you feel shy to unmute yourself, you have the chat box which you can use and you can post up your questions. Okay. So we have a few minutes left to end this session here. So if you have any questions to ask, please, if there's anybody right now who wants to ask any question, who wants to know.
Hi, Pritam.
Yeah,
Am I
hi.
audible now?
Yeah, yeah, you're audible.
Okay, okay. I have a few questions. The first question is, you have said you have worked in SOC operations as well as in SIEM tools in addition to VAPT,
I'm
right?
working. Right.
At the initial point, did you get any training in those areas? Actually, your experience or the training which you got from CyberSapiens was mostly on VAPT, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So
you get
after,
any training
yes,
in those areas?
very good question. Very good question. Yes. So after moving, yeah, before going there, like after before like resuming my job, doing my like day-to-day activity, yes, they too provided me some sort of training, and that was very basic, I will say. And still now, as I said, I'm learning even today also. Today, even today, I'm talking about. I learned something new, and yes, BAPT will help you. I in my like I was explaining, and I correlated how VAPT is going to help you in the SOC also, because in the SOC, once the alert is coming there and you are seeing that, you actually have that raw data. And if you have that knowledge of burp suit and doing test like manually testing websites, you know that how that raw data is structured over there, and you can see the same, exactly same thing, copy of that. So the how to operate a tool, yes, they will tell you. But if you have that VAPT knowledge, that will be like very easy for you to grasp all those new things whenever you are moving to SOC. So that is going to help you.
Yeah, and most of the companies do provide training when someone onboards, when they onboard a employee, a team member, they
True.
do provide with the training with
True.
regards to their infrastructure because every company have their own process, has their own tools, they have their own methods and all. So of course, the company will provide you with the training. There's no doubt in that. But yes, Asha, you have asked a very good question. Anything more that you want to know, Asha, from here on?
Yeah, I have one more question. See, at the beginning, you said that initially you created websites, isn't it? Actually, and my question is it for external vendors you have created?
Sorry, I couldn't get your question. Once more, come once more.
At the beginning, you said you have created many websites,
Hmm.
isn't it?
Right.
And that one of them got hacked, isn't it? Something you mentioned
True.
at the beginning. So my
Yeah.
question is,
Yeah.
for whom you have created it? Is it for some external vendors or in-house purpose?
Okay. So yeah, I was building websites for myself. I was writing technology related stuffs over there because I was having that enthusiasm. I'm very tech enthusiast, you can say, and the knowledge of building websites I learned all by myself, googling. So I learned a couple of languages, HTML very easy, PHP, Java, and all sort of integration, how to integrate, build websites, like buy hosting, buy domain, then connecting them, or if you want to build a website on WordPress. So those are things all I learned by myself. I was doing building websites for myself also, also for the third party. Yes, I do used to take projects, but those projects are not very big, I would say. small projects, because I was also reading at the same time. I was not like a working professional. I started building websites when I was in class 12th. So 12th to masters, I parallel around 6 to 7 years. I actually developed websites, so many websites. There are some websites I can't name that they are running today also. Those were built by me. But yes, those are very basic things. Now they have actually migrated to otherwhere, and like made those websites more sophisticated, but the initial versions were made by me, and even today they are running also. I think what I have tried to say is that you need to have that eagerness to learn things yourself. So nobody can spoon fed you
Yeah.
everything, right? So once you get that guidance, then you do your own research, try to learn things yourself, and then whenever you are getting stuck, you ask it simply. So if you have that little not like uh, uh, like you are excited, the enthusiasm within yourself to learn things yourself, a few things, not everything it can be learned yourself, a few things apart from whatever the study material or the course that material whatever you are given to you. Apart from that, you have to do that extra bit, you have to work that extra mile yourself. If you can do that, what you will see, you will actually cultivate that doing like learning things by yourself, doing research yourself, and which is going to help you in the long run in a very 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 positive way. Okay, I hope
Thank you,
I've
Pritam.
been, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you answered the question. Actually, what I felt is like you were really enthusiastic in this area from the since the childhood, isn't it?
yeah, but I
And
was not
you were
knowing
not
that.
supposed to, you were not supposed to take the zoology option. Okay.
No, so
Okay.
zoology, okay, okay, let me clarify that also. I was equally good in zoology also. So what I feel now, so whatever you are doing, no matter whatever you are doing, do it with passion, please. Please do it. No, do not do it just for the sake of doing it. Do it with little passion, whatever you are doing, and you are bound to be good in that. You are bound to be good in that. You are moving to cybersecurity from any background, no problem, that your background is not your hindrance. But what now, since you are coming into cybersecurity, have just do not come into cybersecurity because like you have to come or you have to read here. No, please come to the cybersecurity with some enthusiasm, with some passion. Bring that passion within you, and I believe you will do wonders. And because we are still in that nascent stage of in the cybersecurity, and there are so many things that are going around parallelly, technology wise, understanding wise, implementation wise, there are so many things going in the world which is beyond explanation, and still we are in the nascent phase, I would say, in the cybersecurity. So come with passion in the cybersecurity, learn yourself, try to learn things yourself, do research, and you are good to go for the next uh, 20 to 30 years. And how long, even you want, if you want to be more in the field, you are good to go.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
I have a
thank you,
so,
Pritam.
sorry, Asha. I think I will need to give a chance for Rishabh as well. Then we'll come back to you, Asha, if you have any
Yeah,
further
yeah,
questions.
my question is over. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, Rishabh, you have raised your hand, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah, Rishabh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Uh,
yeah, Rishabh.
am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Sir,
yes.
actually, I wanted to ask a question to Preetham, sir, and as well as you, sir. Actually, my plan is to do masters in cybersecurity. So, is there anything apart from having practical knowledge? Is it anything more required for it?
Okay, so sir, are you going to answer it, or
Rishabh, can you come again, Rishabh?
Yes, sir. Actually, my future plans are like next year. I am planning to do my masters in cybersecurity.
Hmm,
So,
hmm.
is there anything more I should do apart from the internship, like more things to learn or something like that?
So since you're already planning to do a master's, I think you do continue with the bug hunting and working on the labs and all. Yes, if additional that you want to do, maybe you can focus on building labs and working on scripts. Maybe you can start with Python because it's a very important language that you want to. So basically, you need to enhance your skills. You need to add on your skills. So you're already there in the web security, but yeah, maybe you can building labs is something that you can do. So you enhance your weightage. You can start learning Python and writing scripts in Python because you have a lot of time, because you'll be starting to work after 2 3 years now, right? So maybe these things might help you.
And if you wish, you can do a couple of professional certifications also
Yeah.
along the way. So that after then you will be actually job ready, since you will be having the certifications, you will having that practical knowledge, you will have that internship with you, and you will be absolutely uh, good to go in the in this field, in this area.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rishabh. Yeah, Asha, if you have anything, you can ask.
So,
Otherwise, we'll.
sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Hmm, hmm.
Yes, sir. So, actually, my last question: how much coding is required? Actually, I hate coding. I hate to code. So that is the main reason I chose the cybersecurity field, because you don't have to code much.
Coding, to be very frank, if you want to ignore the coding part, you can. But if you personally ask me, please learn Python. Please learn Python, because with the Python you will be able to do so many things that
Yeah,
will actually help you. Then
yeah,
you will regret, why didn't I learn Python? So
yeah,
leave everything else, just learn Python. And if you do not want to code, it's absolutely fine, you don't have to code, but
yeah.
learn Python.
Sure,
Yes.
sir. Sure,
Great,
sure.
great.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Rishabh. So I think we have Sahil raising his hand. So Sahil, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Yeah, Sahil, go on.
Hello. Am I
Yeah,
audible?
yeah, you're
Yeah.
audible.
Actually, I want to ask a question. Actually, now, lastly, we are talking with coding language, you know. So, in the actually, I was belonging to the networking field, and right now I also prepared for the network penetration tester. So, I was
Great.
just asking you that what is the use of coding in actual industries? I think they have
Very good.
already have their tools. They have already built their actual separate tools. So, what is the use in that study in that company will having
Very
the
good question.
extra knowledge of
Yeah,
coding? Why?
yeah. So, like I said, you won't be requiring coding extensively if you are not in the shoes of a developer. If you want to be a developer someday, building all those tools, coding will be required. But what I have observed and seen that sometimes you need to run a few queries. In our SOC also, we need to run few queries. And if someone has that basic knowledge of little bit of knowledge of coding, na, even one language, that is why I said to Rishabh that please learn Python. Whatever language, no matter whatever language you are learning, so if you have that basic sense and basic knowledge of little bit of coding, na, so whenever you are entering all those queries and all those things, so you will have a better clarity and idea, like you won't be in the dark. So they will provide you everything, they will provide you the codes and the like queries what you have to run. But rather that running it blindly and having that little bit of clarity that I'm running it okay, so that will help you and like give you some sort of satisfaction in, and what I will say, better confidence within you that I'm running it okay. So that is why learning little bit of coding really helps in the long run, Sahil.
Actually, one more question regarding this coding. Actually, so many language are there. Like when we penetrate any website or any scrolling website, then there is a language which was built in WordPress and also Java, and so many languages are there. Which language actually you are working with a company, na? So I want to ask you, you have so many, your company will have so many clients, like. I don't know
True,
how much clients are he will
true.
have,
There
but
are
I want to
1 crore.
ask you actually how many programming language like Python? Have you seen any Python language website built? Because website built in Java, HTML, like this type of language. It is not possible that actually learn all the language, because
True.
I was thinking that
But
this
yeah,
language was
yeah,
useful for developing tools only.
right. So Python is a scripting language. Robin sir, if I'm not wrong,
Hmm.
Python is basically a scripting language, and with the help of Python, you can actually code so many other languages and other tools. You will see. So Python will actually help you run all those like other languages and other tools that are built on various other languages, and you simply need not to learn all those languages. But if you know that Python, you can actually do the scripting part, and all other things can run well. And yeah, you said websites are built on PHP, many other languages, HTML, JavaScript is there. So I believe you learn for the sake of learning. If you want to learn language, start with HTML. Start with HTML, because once you get that knowledge of HTML, slowly you will learn. I believe you will be learning Python. I mean, sorry, PHP. And once you learn that PHP and that HTML and PHP, you will automatically someday you will see that you have learned 20 to 30% of the JavaScript automatically, because since you are already digging all those things in the websites, those things will gradually come to you, the understanding how these things are working. So start with HTML. After that is you will slowly learn the PHP automatically, and you will also at the some point of time you will automatically get to know, or at least you will have to have that understanding of the JavaScript. Slowly it will automatically come. So do not rush. Start with the HTML, parallelly learn Python along with it HTML, and you are very good to go. So do you want to add anything, Robin sir?
Yeah, I mean, Pritam, you said it very right. So, what happens is there are a lot of programming languages, and people get confused. So, if you want to get into the web application security, so definitely, the Java scripting, PHP matters a lot. But otherwise, I would say if you are into the security, then I think Python will help you because most of the tools are built in Python, right? So
Right.
Python skill is very important. Knowledge of PHP is important because and then it's a code, so you need to have the understanding of syntax. So you don't need to learn programming from a development perspective, but from an understanding perspective,
Understanding
understanding the
perspective.
logic,
Very. Yes.
understanding the
Yes.
syntax, right? But if you're learning Python, you're actually writing scripts to break something, to bypass something, to capture something. So that way, keeping Python for security professionals will be good. And any other languages, because you work on multiple platforms, but if you try to understand the syntax, that is more than enough rather than learning a PHP completely, because that will be applicable if you're a developer. Otherwise, not required. So this is my thought. So I think, Sahil, that answers your question. And we have two more hands raised. So Sahil, I'm sorry if you have any questions, we can take it up later. So Soumya Dikshit had raised his hand. Uh, so Soumya.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you
Yeah.
are. You are.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to ask that when you were looking for a job as a fresher, when you were job hunting, what was your strategy, Because like I see job openings on LinkedIn and Glassdoor and everything, and a lot of the jobs in this field require, 1 year experience, 4 year experience, something like that. So as a fresher, like what would you recommend how where should I try and find such jobs related to freshers, or should I focus on internships first and then try and get in?
Yeah. So definitely, if you're here, then I believe you're already into internship and or doing some sort of certifications. So that is, you have already taken the first step. You have already taken the first step. Now do not hold back applying for the jobs which ask for 1 year of experience. Please apply for them. Please apply for them, because if they do seriously have that requirement, then they won't be looking your experience part, because you are already having or doing that the uh, I mean the internship.
Means
You
it's
are
got
good to
big
go.
touch. Yeah, yeah,
You are good to go. Or some what I would also like recommend you, some if I had to, that if someone, either if any company is not really giving posting any sort of vacancies, do cold mailing them. Do not stop mailing yourself with the profile. Build a good profile, build a good CV, and start doing cold emailing them manually. So do not always wait for the opportunity. Go out there and ask them, like, see, these are things I am having. Do you need someone who is very enthusiast, into those who have like having serious enthusiasm? Someone you need someone, yeah, I am there for you. I can start with you working. I'm very excited to work for you.
yeah.
And they actually, sometimes I have seen my many friends actually got many placements in their life by doing cold mailing and asking for companies manually. You can have that. How you will get that all those mails? Try building connections on LinkedIn. Once you get a hold of such professionals, they will share you their mails. You can start with that mailing, and slowly, if you are lucky enough, you will get the mail ID of some HRs, and you can start mailing with them. And whenever you see, if you are a fresher, you are like companies asking for a 1 year or 2 years of experience, please do not stop yourself. Start applying. Your effort will be noticed by someone, and definitely will be there.
Yeah, I agree to your point, Pritam. I remember my days when I was applying. I remember waking up every day and applying to the same job post every day on Naukri. There are so many job portals that I had registered, doing the same thing on Naukri every day, waking up. I used to get blocked by Naukri, because there are certain limitations when you can apply to a jobs as a normal user. So I used to apply, I used to send emails continuously, and yeah, you have to do these things. And as you said, don't stop yourself. If you see a post where they need 1 year, they don't know what you are going through, right? Like Pritam, so after your batch, the program we have changed a lot. We have changed in a lot of things. They get a lot
Great.
of targets on a monthly basis, which they do get. A lot of things have changed, which wherein they can say that they are actually working on real time platforms, real time targets. And I think this should be shown to them. So start applying. As Pritam said, start applying. This is what Pritam is trying to say. I hope that addresses your question, Dikshit.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Isaac, you have raised your hand. You can just ask your question.
Yes. So firstly, hi, Mr. Mandal. Good evening, and good evening,
Yeah.
Robin sir.
Hi.
So
Great.
my question to you, Mr. Mandal, is that so I have just recently taken admission in a college for computer science, and I know it's a long way. It'll take like 3 years, and post that I will do my masters, maybe in India, maybe abroad. So my question to you is that once I complete this internship, okay, after 6 months, so can I start working directly? Can I start applying and start working directly? Should I wait till I complete my my computer science degree?
Um, this is a very tricky situation, I would say. And if you ask me, if you want to seriously apply, yeah, you start applying right today. There is no
Mm-hmm.
stopping you if you want to apply, or if you are looking for something. Because even if you are not you'll be getting 100% placement, but you will be securing many other intern, as an intern you will be getting entry in so many other positions. So there again you can get experience, and that will help you build your resume, which will help you later secure other better jobs in full time basis. So please start applying. And yes, you can all, like, why you wait for company? You have that knowledge, you are already gaining the practical knowledge of VAPT. You start doing bug bounty. Private bug bounties are there. You build profile, so many profiles on so many other bug bounty platforms. You start bug bounting, man. Why are you waiting for someone, wait for someone to hire you? You are already your own boss. Be your own boss today. Yeah. And you can definitely start doing it yourself. And if you are lucky enough and get 2 or 3 good hall of fames na, then you won't have to actually wait for that 3 years of completion of your graduations. Companies will run day and night, run after you, and they'll start mailing you, come join our company once you get that 1 or 2 hall of fames. So you have that right opportunity and right tools and right set of mentors, everything you have with everything ready with you. Just use it, explore it, utilize it. And I believe you can utilize this thing. You won't have to actually wait for 3 years. If you are like, if you get some really couple of good bounties, you can use that in your CV, and that will definitely attract few HRs to hire you. Am I
Mhm.
right, sir?
Yeah, Pritam, definitely. And see, I mean, there are a few candidates from different batches who have been contacted by Hack the Box, by EC Council and other companies, because these people write blogs and all, right? So companies have approached
Medium.com.
for the content writing kind of. So there are multiple things, in cybersecurity. So it has become a big domain now. It's not just about VAPT. It's also about maybe, I mean, as a student, if I have to tell you, you can get into the content writing, blogs writing, reviewing of the machines which CTFs and other companies are doing. So lot of opportunities are there which you can take up. I think that's a good suggestion which Pritam has given, and I agree to it.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
helps.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mandal, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So finally,
Welcome.
before we end up, Pritam, one suggestion if you
Yeah.
have to give to your, so basically this is your family, these are
Yeah.
cyber.
Yes,
So
I agree.
one suggestion, one tip from your end that they have to follow, or that will help them. What would that be?
So the one tip is, I would say, is please do not limit yourself. What I would say, there are, see, so many things out there. You need not have to learn or do everything.
Mm.
Okay, you
Mm.
have to just be persistent in learning things, new things. You
Mm.
need not to learn 100 things. Learn one thing today. We focus one at a time. One, take one step at a time,
Mm.
one note at a time, one topic at a time, one
Mm.
tool at a time,
Mm.
and you try to learn it in a good way. Do not jump. Do not rush. I would say, take
Mm.
your time, take a breath, take your time, slowly you step, move forward. Cyber Sapiens and Robin sir and the entire team is there to guide you. But what I will say, as a little, you need to take that little baby step every day. Please do not limit yourself. So
Mm.
whatever it is given or whatever it is taught, do some research, learn, try to learn something new, a little thing. Even if you learn a single line now, that's
Mm.
a huge thing in a
Yeah.
long way, in a long way. So try to explore things, take your time. We are all humans, and explore things, and you will be there. Success
Yes.
will be there, definitely.
Yes. If Pritam can do it, I think everybody
Yeah,
can do it.
absolutely,
Everybody has to do
absolutely.
it. This is your race, right? Uh,
Absolutely.
so Pritam, I really thank you very much. This is really gonna
Thank
be
you
a
so
special
much.
to me because this is our first show, and this is the first episode I can say. So we want to have this going on, and you are our first host for the show. So this is going to
Thank you
be
so much, sir.
really special
Thank you
to
so
me,
much.
Pritam. And I really thank you for joining us in your busy schedule. You have taken your time coming here, sharing your experience, sharing your knowledge. I mean, this is something which not everybody will be willing to do, but you have done this for our sake, and I
It's my
really,
pleasure, sir.
really
It's
thank you,
my
Pritam,
pleasure.
for that.
I'm equally thankful. I'm equally thankful to the entire team, especially to you, sir, to the Cyber Sapiens and the entire family. I know personally, like I have communication with other peoples also in the Cyber Sapiens. I know them. They are working their best, trying to give other interns whatever they are doing into it, giving everything that is possible within their capacity and limit. They are doing it. Please do your part, and someday definitely we'll be meeting Cyber Sapiens when it will grow even more big, and we'll be celebrating this journey from where we started someday.
Yes,
And
yes.
definitely we shall meet, sir, someday. Maybe you can send some air tickets, and I can go there and have that part of that big celebration
Sure, sure.
someday. So something, what I would say that it's just the start, and
Yeah,
we are starting, and
yeah.
so many big things that are coming our way that is going to happen in the future. I wish everyone very good luck, and my lots of wishes, and thanks, whatever it is there, good words I can think of right now in it is there for you, sir, and your entire team. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Pritam. Wish you a good luck in your journey. Take care.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye, sir.